Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets hidden in plain sight within company filings. And boy, do we have a treat for you today. This filing is all about a new Chief Operating Officer joining XTI Aerospace and the compensation package he's getting. Now, XTI Aerospace Inc. is a company that's been on our radar as they are pushing forward with their advanced aircraft technology. Today we're looking at their Form 8K, which is basically a report for significant events that happen between their regular quarterly filings. The big news here is the appointment of Michael A. Tapp as the new Chief Operating Officer. This move was made effective September 1st, and as you might expect with a new executive at this level, there's a detailed employment agreement that lays out his salary, benefits, and bonus structure. Let's talk a bit about Mr. Tapp. He's 55 years old, and before this he was already involved with XTI Aerospace as the chairman of their corporate advisory board since September of last year. This board helps the company explore new strategic opportunities. He also has a background as an operating partner for Palangan Capital and HBC Investments, a private equity firm. Before that, he spent nearly a decade at Interstate Battery in leadership roles, including president of their multi-unit franchise system and president of their industrial power management business. He's also served on the boards of several growth stage companies, so he brings a lot of experience in operations and strategic growth. Now let's get to the good stuff, the compensation. Mr. Tapp will be earning an annualized base salary of $600,000. This salary is subject to annual reviews based on agreed upon targets. On top of the base salary, he's eligible for quarterly performance bonuses. These bonuses can be up to 100% of his base salary each quarter, meaning he could potentially double his base salary through bonuses if performance targets are met. There's also a special bonus structure. If the company makes an investment or acquisition exceeding $10 million, Mr. Tapp gets a bonus equal to 25% of his base salary. This incentivizes him to drive growth through strategic deals. He's also set to receive incentive awards in the form of company securities, which essentially means stock or options to buy stock. We'll get to his specific stock option grant in a moment. He'll also get 30 paid vacation days per year, which is pretty generous, and these days can roll over if unused. Of course, he'll participate in all the company's benefit plans and get reimbursed for reasonable business expenses, including relocation, if the company moves its headquarters. The agreement itself is for an initial term of 3 years with automatic 1-year renewals unless either party gives 90 days notice before the end of the term. This suggests a commitment from both sides for a decent period. The agreement also details termination clauses. The company can terminate employment for cause, which requires a supermajority of the board's approval and an opportunity for Mr. Tapp to be heard. They can also terminate without cause, but this requires a supermajority of the board's approval and at least 45 days notice. Mr. Tapp can resign for good reason or with 90 days notice. Now, if he's terminated without cause or resigns for good reason, and he provides a release of claims, he gets a pretty sweet package. This includes his base salary through the termination date, 18 months of his bonuses too. On top of that, all his unvested stock options or securities will immediately vest, and vested options remain exercisable until their expiry. He'll also continue to receive employee benefits for his family for 18 months. And Bidson Vuedeportes is dollar keen out, and 18 months of his bonuses too. On top of that, all his unvested stock options or securities will immediately vest, and vested options remain exercisable until their expiry. He'll also continue to receive employee benefits for his family for 18 months. The deal gets even sweeter if there's a change in control of the company, like an acquisition. If the company terminates his employment for any reason other than cause after a change in control, he's entitled to his base salary through termination, then 36 months of his base salary and bonuses paid out. All his stock options immediately vest and remain exercisable. He also gets a bonus tied to the tax implications of the stock vesting and 18 months of continued benefits. This is often called a golden parachute, designed to protect executives during a company sale. As for restrictions, Mr. Tapp is subject to a non-solicitation clause. This means for 1 year after he leaves the company, he can't try to hire away XTI Aerospace's employees, consultants, or contractors. This is standard practice to protect the company's workforce. Now let's look at the stock options. On September 4th, the Compensation Committee approved several stock option grants. This is an important look at how the company is aligning executive incentives with shareholder value. Michael A. Tapp received 1,000 stock options. These options have an exercise price of $2 per share. They vest over time, with 1/3 vesting immediately on the grant date and the rest vesting in equal quarterly installments over 2 years. The options expire 10 years after the grant date. This means he can buy company stock at $2 per share in the future. Just for a bit of comparison, Scott Pomeroy, the CEO, received 2,621,000, while other key executives like Brooke Turk and Tobin Arthur received 1,112,200 options each. Samir Das, the CEO of their RTLS division, got 78,000 options. This shows how options are being used to incentivize the entire leadership team. There's also a side letter agreement with Mr. Tapp. A side letter is essentially an addendum or a side deal that modifies or clarifies certain aspects of the main employment agreement. In this side letter, XTI Aerospace agreed that they must move their headquarters to a specific executive office area by March 31st of next year. If they don't, or if they move outside of a certain radius from Dallas-Fort Worth, it will be considered a material breach of his employment agreement. This is a pretty specific requirement and highlights the importance of the company's location strategy for this executive. The company also agreed to pay for his annual YPOI and chapter membership fees. YPO stands for Young Presidents Organization, and it's a global leadership community for chief executives. This suggests the company is supporting his professional development and networking. And finally, we see the signatures making this all official, with Brooke Turk, the Chief Financial Officer, signing off on the report on September 5th, 2025. So, what's my take on this filing? It shows XTI Aerospace is serious about bringing in top talent with Michael A. Tapp's appointment. The compensation package is substantial, reflecting his experience and the responsibilities of a COO. The stock options are a strong incentive to drive company performance and increase shareholder value, especially since they have a significant number of options. The specific requirement about the headquarters relocation in the side letter is interesting and might hint at the company's future operational plans, or even its strategic focus on being in a certain business environment. The key risk I see is whether these ambitious bonus targets and the significant stock option grants will translate into actual growth and positive financial results for XTI Aerospace. If the company doesn't hit its performance milestones, these incentives won't yield the desired outcome for either Mr. Tapp or the shareholders. Also, the dependence on strategic acquisitions for a portion of his bonus means he'll be focused on deal making, which can be a high risk, high reward strategy. Overall, this is a significant hire, indicating the company is building its leadership team for future growth. The focus on performance-based compensation and stock incentives aligns well with what you'd expect for a company aiming for rapid expansion in the aerospace sector. The success of this executive appointment will ultimately be judged by the company's performance in the coming years. Alright, that's a breakdown of XTI Aerospace's recent filing. What's your take on Michael Tapp's compensation and the company's strategy? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this useful, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and don't forget to join our Discord community for deeper discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.